I'm just going to run you through some of the things that the FSC has been working on from an advocacy perspective. You've already heard some of that activity from the Minister of Finance, but I thought it's really helpful to run you through that so you understand what we've been working on, how we've been working on it, and how you can continue to help us with that. So we've been working across three interconnected pillars, obviously KiwiSaver life insurance and health insurance. Each of these is vital on its own, but together they clearly form a powerful ecosystem, one that protects people, supports them through life's challenges, and prepares them for a secure retirement. We've been working across these three pillars clearly because financial well-being isn't one-dimensional. Together, those pillars reduce pressure on the public system, empower personal responsibility, and create a more equitable society. And here's some good news. Our collective advocacy is working. We're not just influencing policy, we're shaping the future of financial well-being in Aotearoa. We've appointed a GM of Advocacy, Amy Hines, to help us make more impact, and she definitely is. Hopefully you will meet her throughout the next 2 days if you haven't already. We've developed advocacy plans to ensure we are focusing our resources in the right areas. We've aligned research and polling with key elements of our advocacy to ensure that what we're doing is evidence-based and importantly focused on what is right for New Zealand and New Zealanders. We're working across the political divide because financial resilience is relevant to every New Zealander, no matter who they vote for, and the broader role that the financial services sector can and should play in alleviating fiscal pressure needs to be recognised. You'll hear important reflections from across the House over the next 2 days on these matters. We're also continuing the collaborative history that FSC has with regulators to ensure that members have a clear understanding of their obligations and are readily able to identify opportunities to demonstrate world-class practice to serve their customers and consumers and communities. Just a little bit on the KiwiSaver work that we did. It's obviously now, KiwiSaver's now surpassed 120 billion in funds. It's a trusted retirement savings tool. Kiwis want it protected. Now we say is the time for a long-term government-led strategy. I think the Minister of Finance just alluded to that. The reason for that is it supports the country, it supports retirement security, economic resilience and national development. Sector engagement on key settings are going to occur at this conference, where your input will be critical to laying out a more complete industry perspective that we can work to ensure becomes embedded in party manifestos for the 2026 election. It's important to recognise the changes in Budget 2025, where the government announced a phased increase to KiwiSaver contributions, and I want to thank the Honourable Nicola Willis for her role in that. Obviously, from April 26, default contributions rise to 3.5%. From April 2028, they rise again to 4%. Employer contributions will now extend to 16 to 17-year-olds. These changes were a direct result of our sustained engagement with policymakers, backed by your support and shared vision. Through our bipartisan cross-party approach, we've seen political parties start to prioritise KiwiSaver and savings policy. Just last weekend, New Zealand First laid out a bold vision at their party conference, which they will take to the election. This extends the government's changes and goes further. It is important to see this type of thinking and it is important for industry to be involved. One of the things that we've called for is a national KiwiSaver strategy, because while governments control the legislative framework, KiwiSaver should be considered as critical economic infrastructure, and industry needs to be alongside politics in designing as we transform for tomorrow. We have seen calls for widening the scope for KiwiSaver withdrawals for things like farm purchases. Our recent polling showed that while New Zealanders overwhelmingly supported increased contributions, they also overwhelmingly rejected widening the scope for withdrawals beyond first home purchases and hardship. This lack of broad support for any changes to early withdrawal settings shows that New Zealanders value KiwiSaver as a retirement savings tool and want it protected and improved. So a long-term strategy is the appropriate avenue to raise ideas and policy changes to improve KiwiSaver. This would ensure it continues to serve its purpose while enabling investment into infrastructure, housing and innovation, benefiting both savers and the economy. Just in terms of some of the work that we've been doing on life and health insurance, our research, Money and You, valuing belongings over ourselves, shows that New Zealanders are twice as likely to have car insurance than life or health insurance. The research showed that New Zealanders instinctively protect their homes, cars and possessions, but when it comes to ensuring their most valuable asset, themselves, there's a striking disconnect. With cost being a barrier, expanding access to insurance through workplace schemes would boost uptake and improve coverage across the population. The FSC identified a required policy shift. This isn't new, it's been around for a while. This is exempting employer contributions to life and health insurance from fringe benefit tax. This removes a key barrier, enabling more New Zealanders to access essential cover through their workplaces. We see this as certainly an opportunity for employees and an opportunity for productivity. In terms of the health insurance, the public health system is under pressure. Wait times are growing, budgets are tight, and demand is rising. Private health insurance can help, not by replacing the public system, but by complementing it from a funding perspective. We've been providing advocacy in this space, particularly around integrated care pathways that blend public diagnostics with private follow-up, and again, and providing FBT exemptions for employer-provided health insurance. We're working across Parliament to ensure this becomes a bipartisan solution. We are actively talking to all major political parties about the roles that KiwiSaver life insurance and health insurance play in building financial resilience. Our goal is clear: to secure manifesto commitments ahead of the 2026 election that embed these reforms for the long term. We're tailoring briefing packs for MPs, engaging caucuses, and seeking to elevate the conversation. Every Kiwi deserves access to protection, care, and a dignified retirement, and we want to help you make that happen. So we're driving public awareness, influencing political narratives, and supporting effective industry storytelling. This is a collective effort. We need your voices, your stories, and your leadership. Ngā mihi nui. Thank you for being part of the movement today. Together we're building a financially confident Aotearoa. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a flavour about what we've been doing in the advocacy space, and I'll hand back to Jay.